Manipulating formula, example 1. A formula is an equation. The important thing is to keep it balanced by doing the same things to both sides always. We have v squared is equal to u squared minus 2as. We're asked to make a the subject of the formula. If v squared equals u squared plus 2as, well then logically u squared plus 2as must be equal to v squared. And this is a useful thing to do, to write the subject on the left hand side. I'm going to take u squared from both sides. When we do this, we'll end up with just 2as on the left hand side. So again, we're isolating the a, the subject of the formula. So this gives us that 2as is equal to v squared minus u squared. We're almost there now. If we divide both sides by 2s, well then we'll be left with just a on the left hand side. So dividing both sides by 2s, this gives us that a is equal to v squared minus u squared all over 2s. And that's the answer to the first question. In part 2, we have that the square root of x plus y being divided by x minus y is equal to a half, and we're asked to express y in terms of x. Well, what we might do first is, if we could get rid of this square root, it would be useful. So again, we're going to do the same thing to both sides by squaring both sides of this equation. That would be the useful first step we could do. So when we square the square root disappears. So we have x plus y over x minus y is equal to 1 squared over 2 squared, which will be 1 over 4. Now we have denominators in this equation. So if we multiply both sides of the equation by the lowest common denominator, it will simplify the equation. The lowest common denominator here is 4 times x minus y. When we multiply the left-hand side by this lowest common denominator, because we're also dividing by an x minus y term, we're just left with 4 times x plus y. When we multiply the right-hand side, because we're multiplying and dividing by 4, we're just left with 1 times x minus y. Now we might expand this multiplying at the brackets. We want the equation in terms of y, so I'd like y on the left hand side and the x's on the right hand side. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides of the equation and add y to both sides of the equation. So when we do this, we end up with 5y is equal to negative 3x. So we want y in terms of x. So if I divide both sides by y, we'll end up with y is equal to negative 3x all over 5. And the very last part of the question, it says, hence find the value of y when x is equal to 5. So we replace x with 5, and we see that y is equal to negative 3 when x is equal to 5.